privileged to give this evening's talk. This week is Refugee Week, so I've dedicated my thoughts and feelings and ideas towards helping those who are in trouble, are seeking answers to life's problems. Well, we all are, aren't we? Suffering from trauma. This talk actually is based on the healing power of meditation, and I hope to show you how the healing of trauma can be helped by meditation. So what is trauma? Trauma is an emotional response to a terrible event, terrorism, war, accidents, something very severe. Suddenly a loved one is killed, all this kind of thing, and it leaves a deep scar, it shatters confidence, it makes a person unable to function normally, and often for a very long time. Actually, all of us experience trauma at some stage in our life or other. Can we honestly say that we have never experienced deep fear and anxiety, deep upset? And you just need to look at world events. We've just been through a pandemic, and suddenly the cost of living has shot up, and it's causing many people a huge amount of anxiety. People are saying now they can't afford to heat their homes or eat, they have to choose. So trauma presents a range of symptoms, physical symptoms, unable to sleep, tense, aching joints, unable to concentrate, can't move very well, I don't feel like doing anything, or emotional trauma. I feel so upset that I am not able to engage with everyday activities. I find it hard to get up in the mornings, to do my normal things, to engage with family and friends, to have any sort of life. It's a very serious condition, and it presents with a lot of mental issues. Post-traumatic stress disorder is a condition that arises from trauma that is not treated, or that person doesn't get help when they need it. And it's so severe that that individual can absolutely not function properly. So they're afraid of going out, they're afraid of certain situations, they're afraid of normal activity, meeting people. So very, very stressed. And what this stress does is often leads to depression, often leads to alcohol and drug misuse. It often leads to a relationship breakdown. So when a loved one is suffering a great deal, we do want to help them, but often that person will reject us, become withdrawn, and very difficult to live with. Relationship breakdown then follows. The mind often gets filled with destructive and negative thoughts, and the only way out seems to be So I just tell a quick story, a true story actually, of a young man, 42 years old, who came to see one of our teachers in one of our centres, and he told her that his steel business had collapsed, the prices had collapsed, and therefore his business collapsed, and his workforce of 4,000 people had been thrown out of work, and he was in very serious debt. So he went home that night and to his Mayfair flat, and he threw himself off the top floor. A young man with married 2 young children. And many of us can often feel so helpless that the only thing to do is to end it all. And it's a very tragic situation. So this is the power of the mind to overcome all reason. There's no hope, and that urge to end it all becomes stronger. So the word refugee means a seeker of safety, seeker of refuge. So when we are overwhelmed with these desperate negative feelings, we are long to have a space where we can shut them out. But unfortunately, with trauma, we go to sleep with them, we wake up with these feelings, and we carry them through our day. There are treatments, and the main kinds of treatment is that a person should have a desire to heal themselves, to understand, yes, they're in severe pain and they need help, and then a willingness to accept support. Some of us, when we're going through something awful, we may have that habit of just brushing it aside. You know, I'm okay, I'll be okay. But someone, if I want to heal trauma, if I'm fully aware that I need help, then there are lots and lots of services. A good thing to do is approach the GP, and to start there is a very good place to discuss it with a doctor. And exercise and diet and sunshine and keeping up with normal activities are very important aspects of the healing process. So meditation is a recommended way of healing trauma. And it's a wonderful way because it's non-invasive, it's drug-free. Once you learn the technique, you can practice it all day long. It's nurturing, enhancing, strengthening of the mind. And then, of course, it's available to me 24/7. You know? So what meditation means is to reprogram the mind and make it a place of refuge. So if you know, if you go on a fabulous holiday, you've got your private jet plane, your private island, luxurious, wonderful holiday, but you're suffering trauma. You've lost your child or your relationship, or you've been in an accident. Am I going to enjoy that holiday? No, unless I can leave my mind behind. So the important thing, therefore, is to make the mind a calm and peaceful place, and to invest huge amount of energy and effort to create that calm and peaceful place, because your mind creates your world. If your mind is calm and peaceful, then your world will look beautiful. It is the epitome of good health. So I'm a biology teacher. I didn't introduce myself. So my name's Leisha, by the way. I hope it's not too late to say that. And I'm a biology psychology teacher. I'm retired now, actually. But when I was growing up, the emphasis was on the body. No one ever talked to me about the importance of looking after your mind and nurturing it and making it very strong and healthy until I met the Brahmakumaris. So this is something, a worthwhile investment. When I do meditation, I fill myself with a pure and peaceful energy, and I can replace negative, repetitive behavior. What's negative, repetitive behavior? Well, you come home in the evening and I start shouting, complaining, making everybody's life miserable because I am miserable. And that is what everybody's world is like when I'm around. You know, I haven't got a good thing to say to anybody. But with meditation, I can create beautiful thoughts, I can change my language, I can change my actions and create a happy environment. It just takes one person in the family who is in a bad place to destroy the happiness of everybody. It's very important that I really should not be that person. Okay? Let me give peace to all around, nurturing behavior. So like a computer, I let my body rest. Like a computer, I shut down my files, I clear out the junk, I go into sleep mode. Let me create a place of refuge. So we're going to play some music now, and for 2 minutes, I'm going to speak a commentary, and I'm going to invite you now to join me and to create that space up here. So open or close your eyes, but relax. We're going to play some music. So what I'd like you to do, just for a couple of minutes, relax your feet. Be aware of your bones and muscles and tissues and relax. And then the muscles in your legs, relax, make them very heavy. The muscles in your tummy and your shoulders, your chest, in your back, your neck, relax. Feel them becoming very heavy. The muscles in your face and the back of your head, muscles behind your eyes and your forehead. Feel your eyes becoming very heavy. Relax. And all that is left, your body is now very dark and very relaxed. The tiny point of light at the center of your forehead. Observe yourself as light and feel yourself as peace. Start counting 60. Help yourself to concentrate on that point of light. Count 60 in your mind for 1 minute. I'm going to stop talking now. So now, imagine that energy from your forehead passing down your face and neck, your hands and feet, through your whole body. Come back. Actually, if you've never done meditation before, you may feel you've got too much to think about. Concentrate. But this is the beginning of healing. The more I concentrate, the more my mind slows down, the clearer my mind becomes, the quieter it becomes, the stronger it becomes. And then on that platform, my world will start to change. So the first step to do meditation is I have to take control of my body. So write this down. Dr. Joe Dispenza. He's not a BK. He is a neuroscientist that has done many years of research on the effect of meditation on the brain. And I always say to people, don't believe what I say. go and research it yourself. And YouTube is such a great place to find out about the power of meditation. So Dr. Dispenza says, yes, it's difficult to do meditation because we got so much to think about. But what you have to do is you have to treat your body like a naughty child. And you have to sit down and you do not allow your body to move until you've done meditation. The first thing that happens is you start thinking of all the things I have to do. So anxiety will come, oh, I should be doing this, that, and the other, I have to check my phone or whatever. But the more I sit myself down, create that time, willpower will grow. When I don't have my phone or TV or whatever is going on in the world, then my thoughts calm down and my brain becomes a canvas for new neurocircuits. Every time I have a thought, my brain physically creates a set of nerves. And the more I have that thought, it creates another set of nerves. So I might feel I can't stop thinking about that situation. Could be that I have been on a boat in the ocean. I've lost my child. I nearly died. Could be something like that. Or for myself, within 5 years, I lost someone I love. My 19-year-old brother was drowned in a swimming accident. Within 2 years, my dad lost the will to live, developed cancer, and passed away at the age of 55. And within another 5 years, I lost the will to live. So I realize now that I just ignored trauma, and what it did is it ate away at me. So terrible things are happening to all of us now. So what we need to do is I created a massive, thick rope of negative thoughts. My dad is gone, my brother is gone, my boyfriend is gone. What is the point of living? And the thicker that rope of thoughts becomes, I can't think about anything else except killing myself, you know? So negative thinking is very, very physical in my brain, very destructive. So a very dangerous thing. So when I do meditation, I see myself as light, I start to concentrate, I start to create new thoughts. Then I create new set of nerves that life is worth living. I have got lots of opportunities. The world needs me. And as I create a rope of these billions of positive thoughts, what happens to the negative nerves that I've created? I'm not using them anymore, so then they break down. And I noticed when I started meditation, going to the center, I woke up one morning and I remember thinking to myself, oh my God, I haven't thought about killing myself for a long time now. And I wondered where those thoughts went. But I think going to the center, I was, without realizing, building new neurocircuits, the physical event, positive thinking. So when I sit down, the world will calm down and concentration becomes better and better. So here in the neural networks with meditation, your brain physically builds more nerves. And anger, the anger center that creates angry thoughts and processes anger, that gets smaller because you're not engaging with them so much. So you'd get angry less quickly and you calm down faster. So this is why when situations happen, you can let it go because your brain physically hasn't got the neural mass to start fighting about it. You can't be bothered. Isn't that nice? That's how it works. So Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg, these IT billionaires, it's interesting that they do not allow their kids to look at the internet. You know, why? Because all this gaming and all this trash is so damaging to brain development. They don't allow it. They allow billions. No, they don't allow it. It's our choice. You know? So we should be very careful what we take in from the internet because it's creating neural networks that make us feel good or make us feel bad. And there's this wonderful scientist, did 83,000 brain scans. Daniel Amen, his name is. Have a look at a TED talk called The Results of 83,000 Brain Scans. He has discovered that if we use it, it will get bigger, the brain. The brain is incredibly plastic. If I want to change, it will change. It'll heal. People with Alzheimer's, the number one problem with Alzheimer's sufferers seem to be diet and lack of activity. So if my diet improves and my activity improves, the brain starts to heal that hippocampus part at the back, which starts to degenerate with a bad diet and lack of activity. So important now. Dr. Dispenza, scientific research shows that meditation can change your brain, can make us more compassionate. Why? Because the compassion centers have literally got billions of more nerves in them, and the anger centers start to break down because I'm not using them. So I've got billions less nerves which have been cleared out. Have you noticed that since you've been coming here and doing meditation? Yes, that you don't want to get angry. Try and avoid it most of the time. I feel calmer, suffer less depression, anxiety, pain, insomnia. I can concentrate better on normal tasks, and I have a deep, deep sense of well-being, which has got nothing to do with how much money I've got in the bank or how big my house is. Just a sense that all is well. Isn't that lovely? So I don't have to go shopping or watching TV or looking forward to the next meal. An ordinary thing like cooking and cleaning and taking care of family is very pleasurable. That sense of calm. And really meditation, you have a higher quality of life without laying out a whole lot of money, and create thoughts like, when problems come, I must kill myself. No. When problems come, I will find a solution. Such a good feeling. Before I met the Brahma Kumaris, I had a job in a wonderful school. I was so happy. I got this job. The kids were wonderful, and the school had so much money. It was a great pleasure. But within a couple of weeks, I would say I noticed 4 people on the staff didn't talk to me. I was the only brown face in this very wealthy white middle class school, and the children and I absolutely loved them. They were so polite and so lovely, but 4 members of staff, every time they saw me, they'd look through me, you know, as if I didn't exist. And this eventually got to me where I could not come into school. I used to sit in the car and cry because it hurt me so much. So when I met the Brahma Kumaris, at the same time I started doing meditation. I heard their teachings. One thing that helped me so much is this idea that everybody has their role to play, you know? And I only have control over myself. I don't have control over you. So if you want to be mean and nasty to me, that is your right. That's your role. But my role is to be the best I can be. So, wow. When I started to hear this, I used to see these people. I used to think, oh, they're just playing their role. I have to play mine, you know, just ignore it. And suddenly, I couldn't care less about them anymore. I was very, very polite. They didn't bother me anymore. It was so brilliant. And the way that it came out is that the headmistress at staff meetings, she used to complain all the time that staff didn't want to take assembly. It was a big deal, address 600 people in the morning assembly. Who would want to do that, you know? But I was listening, hearing so many wonderful things at the Brahma Kumaris. I wanted to give a talk. But I thought, well, these four that ignored me, they hate me so much, you know, how can I stand up in front of the school? But when I realized they're just souls playing their role, I didn't do it. I can ignore that and play my role best properly. Guess what I did? I started to take morning assembly. You know, guess what happened? The kids loved it. And all my lessons, they wanted to talk about something I'd said in assembly. And I started talking about one of the most basic teachings of our organization, that if we want to be happy, we need to get rid of attachment, anger, lust, ego, and greed. And it's the cause of all problems in the world. My students thought that was so brilliant. And I realized that I had a duty now to keep on giving assemblies, play my role. All my problems flew away. I was in that school for 12 years. Problems did arise, but you know that look of you don't belong, I don't approve, I'm not going to talk about it. I used to say to myself, that soul is playing their role. And I used to interact with them with a lot of respect and love, totally not, you know, give any sign that I understood the pain they were sending me. Good, was it? Yeah. Play your role, higher quality of life, look for solutions. So meditation has a definite science behind it and makes you look so good. Look at my hedgehog after meditation. Our face physically feels more relaxed, younger, happier, more stable. And I want to tell you the power of the mind and my story of Emma. Emma was a 16-year-old girl, and she came to me one day and she said, Miss, I've just had an abortion. My mother's thrown me out the house. I want to kill myself. And the GCSE exams had just started and the kids had left school. And I knew her mum. Her mum was very, very rejecting. And I could just imagine that's exactly what was going on. So I said to her something I deeply, deeply believe. And I said to her, you know, Emma, it's not her real name. I said, stop having sex with this boy and lead a clean and honest life. You've got 10 GCSEs coming up. You're a very clever girl. Work very, very hard and you will like yourself. Promise yourself that you will not do this kind of thing until you meet the person you want to spend the rest of your life with. Promise yourself. Your pain will go away. So off she went, and I didn't see her again. But 3 months later, when the exam results came out, she got 8, 10 grade A's. You know, and I just felt thank you, God, that a lost soul had found their way again. Trauma. It's easy. That's what she said, Miss, I want to kill myself. My life is over. But one thought, that's the power of the mind. Because if my mind is in a good state, my life will be in a good state and I can face my challenges. But if my mind is in a bad state, then I'll be so quick to end it. All kinds of situations will make me want to end it. Emma. So, and I want to tell you about Maslow's hierarchy of needs. He's a famous psychologist. He says you need to be happy, you need food and warmth. That's the first basic need. Then you need safety. That's the second need. Then you need to belong. We need personal, loving relationships with others. That's the third need, but that's not enough. We need to get up every day and do something productive. That's the fourth need. It gives us a sense of worth. It doesn't matter if we're retired or disabled or on our back. We need to do productive work. The fifth need is to self-actualize. What does that mean? Become everything that you can be. And all of us have got thousands of talents, and if we have that awareness that I am good with people, good at sewing, good at laying on a meal, good at managing something, and I do not engage with that talent, it's going to disappear. And then I will always feel that something is missing in my life. But to be everything you can be takes a lifetime, self-actualization. And for me, that means to have a deep and powerful connection with God. The purpose of life actually is to self-actualize. Most of us have food and safety and work and loving relationships, but we feel empty because that relationship with God not being fulfilled. And what happens? Some people don't care that, they're billionaires maybe, they got loads of money. They don't care about work. They don't care about relationships. They don't care about God. When I live like this, it leaves a massive hole. And into that hole, I start to pour drugs, sex, and alcohol, the internet, movies, useless, trashy living. I read of a billionaire who's got 2,000 sports cars and 600 mansions. My first reaction was, poor soul. Isn't that your reaction? A person, that's all they do is buy houses and sports cars. I keep thinking of the millions of children who could be educated and fed and have decent, honest lives. Self-actualization is my deepest need. It takes all my life, because self-actualization is not an arrival point and I have arrived. My relationship with God, my talents, my engagement with the world is a lifelong activity. Yeah. So I think a lot of drug taking and alcohol is trying to fill that awful hole because I've ignored my basic needs. We have to change. So I had a story of one of my students, Ravi. I was in car phone warehouse. I had a problem with my phone, and I said to them, had a chat with the manager, and I was leaving, and this young man turned to me in a very smart suit, and he goes, do you remember me? And this is what all my students say over the years. It's a very lovely thing in my life that complete strangers come up to me and they go, "You remember me?" And I know it's always my students. I said, I don't remember you, but I bet you were one of my students. How are you? And he said, "Do you know what? My only memories of him was what a hooligan he was. He used to slash teachers' tires. He used to threaten to kill his peers. And I spent many hours, I had a pastoral care role in this school, and I said, you know, Ravi, you're so clever, you're going to end up in prison." I said, and then he left school, and when I met him, it was 10 years later. He said, "You know what?" He said, "I've got a degree in electronics." I said, "What?" I said, "How wonderful. How did that happen?" He said, "When I left school, I realized I had to change. So I changed." So I think Emma and Ravi are the best stories of my life. I found that so inspiring. And what inspires me is the power of the human mind to go beyond trauma. Ravi was 10 years behind his peers in relationships, in his education, in the things he should have learned, in common manners. He was so behind. But to do a degree in electronics at the age, I think he must have been about 26, 28, was so inspiring. Because when we live like that, then who wants to kill themselves? When you've got something to struggle and work and do and live and contribute to the world, who wants to kill themselves? So it's so important to make the mind such a good refuge of power and peace. So let me film myself, get rid of these junk files, take a deep sense of control, well-being. I start to think more positive because I'm creating neurons, new circuits, which create positive thoughts. And a very good thought to have is when problems come, is I can find a solution. So a positive thought helps me. And a negative thought hurts me. So we are all facing challenges. Let me think positively. Let me move my life forward. And let me talk to myself in a very loving way. I am strong and brave. I will find a solution. So let's do an arm experiment. Stick your right arm out or your left arm, it doesn't matter. Stick that right in front and then move it to the side. Yeah, just like that, doesn't matter, whichever one you like. Now bring it back again and say to yourself, say it out loud, "I am strong and brave and capable and I can do anything I like. I am strong and brave and capable. I can do anything I like." Now move your arm over to the side. How does that feel? Because even those thoughts, positive thoughts, you can physically feel your body energy rising and your mind becoming stronger. As soon as you say to yourself, "I will find a solution," then your body becomes stronger. So when I heard this, I thought, my boyfriend, who I love so much and dumped me, I thought, oh, he was a soul. He had to go to his destiny. I have to go to mine. My brother, who I love so much, he had karma to settle. That soul had something to settle. And he had to move on. I have to move on and remember him with love. And my dad, let me not hang on to him with negative thoughts and tears and longing and not living my life. Let me wish him luck and love and let him move on. So anybody now drops dead in front of me, I'm a first aider, immediately I will go and help. I've done that many, many times. But I no longer have the hysteria around that. I think, okay, if it's in the destiny of this soul to stay in their body and be helped, it'll happen. But I have done my best to help them. So now, positive thinking, have thoughts that help you. And then the new me arrives. You know, it's not important how others see you, it's how you see yourself. It's so important to like yourself, because if you like yourself, then it doesn't matter what others think. You know? And one thing that helps me to like myself, I've said this to a friend recently, is that I try to live a clean, honest, decent life. I never avoid lying, stealing, and cheating. And I like myself because of that. You know, and I am doing my best. And if it doesn't look as if I'm doing my best, that's too bad. Because nobody is in here with me. I'm happy with myself. So when people hurt me, this slide says a new job, micro indignity. So I told you about my 4 colleagues. A little micro indignity that hurt me is that when I arrived in the school, the teacher in charge of music was asked to give me a music hymn book. And it had the back cover ripped off, and it had pages missing, and it had graffiti on the front. And I felt very hurt by that. But how did that help me? I ignored it. I thought, fine, they're doing what they need to do. But after that, when I had new students enter my class, I gave them the new book. You know, and the students that were already there, I could see they felt something about it. But I said, look, newcomers should have the new book so they feel welcome. And that is what that lesson taught me. That when someone is doing something that's not nice, they're in pain, but I'm not in pain. Let me go beyond. Let me be strong. Yeah? So I've told you about school assembly. So actually, I want to move, lots of powers come when we do meditation. But you know, Dr. Joe Dispenza, a neuroscientist, they've identified a huge field, they call it the quantum field above the earth, of very benevolent, loving energy. We call it the Supreme Soul, who is up there, available to us to connect and recharge ourselves. So, should we connect? Yes. Yes.
That exercise where, you know, Doc and I have done mirror work. I know.
Yes.
But I've never ever done anything like that. And I found it extraordinary. It felt very different. And I was wondering why you said put it out there and then put it to the side. Was there a reason for that? Because it actually felt, I don't know, it just felt different. And it felt quite powerful in a very different way to just say out loud. Is there a reason?
Well, the other option is that we all get up and dance with all that powerful energy. But it's a very simple way to show how a little thought that I am powerful and beautiful. Yes, just that little movement. You can feel the strength, which you wouldn't feel if you just... Yeah, we could get up and do a Bhangra. I love Bhangra, so it's energizing. Yeah, yeah, positive thoughts energize your body. So what we're going to do, I'd like to, just for 2 minutes, connect with the quantum field, connect with the Supreme Soul as we know him to be. Because if you and I, we all suffered all kinds of trauma, we can heal ourselves the more we engage with this quantum field. So we're going to play some music, maybe, and we're just going to go into a state of meditation and that point of light. And now, just without any effort or trouble or anything, we can imagine that point of light, which is I, the soul, can step out of this body and climb, float, fly high above the earth. And in one moment, I am in front of this brilliant star. I feel the love of this soul for me. So much love. And there's no more thoughts, just the connection. So you feel the wave of love coming towards the soul. Feel yourself absorbing this pure energy. No thoughts are needed. No whys or what or where. Just absorb this ocean, golden pure energy that loves me so much. Let me feel the senses filling up. Feel pain, trauma floating away from me. Feel healing, depression, anxiety flowing away from me. And let me now turn to planet Earth below me, and with my Father and myself. Let me become the mirror of his love and send that energy towards planet Earth. Let me become a reflector of this pure energy for the billions of souls that long for that peace. And in a moment, I can fly back to Earth like a rocket, enter my forehead smoothly and easily to my body that's waiting patiently for me. Om Shanti. So, that connection with the Supreme is the goal, and with it, all questions are answered. I'm going to stop there, but I just ask you if you have any questions, please ask them. So, got 5 or 10 minutes. My brother here has got a mic, and of course we've got an audience watching online, so they would have loads of questions to ask. So you are their mouthpiece. You carry on.
I just wanted to ask if there is any situation where the meditation wouldn't be helpful for trauma.
So the question was, is there any situation where meditation is not helpful? The The thing about meditation is you need to want to do it. If somebody forces me to do meditation, it's not going to work. So the answer is yes. If somebody is not interested in meditation, they don't want to do it, they're not interested, then they're not going to be able to do it. It requires concentration, effort, dedication, and a deep understanding that this is something that could help me. But I'll tell you that I was teaching for 25 years. When I first met the Brahma Kumaris, I was teaching 25 years after that. So I immediately started teaching my thousands of students meditation from the age of 11 to 18. And I had a lot, when you teach teenagers, age 16 is very problematical, and they tend to, when you tell them about meditation, they want to rubbish it straight away. So they go, oh, God, miss, you're not going to play, prayer music to us. I say, hey, guys, just give it a chance and see how you feel. You don't have to, if you don't like it, I won't do it. But I can tell you, I swear to you, all the thousands of kids that I have taught meditation to, not one of them has wanted to leave the room. Not one. I say you can go and stand outside in the corridor, because we used to do it for 5 minutes. And the other thing I've discovered is that the most disturbed children, the most anxious, the most behaviorally bad kids were the ones that enjoyed it the most. It was a wonderful, 16-year-olds. It was a fantastic experience. Yes.
Many years, and it's you have to practice it on your own all the time, on your own. Like when you're doing your work, you're in the park, you're on your own, but you have to let go and let God, and then it comes to you. It doesn't come, and you have to have a very, very strong belief in the super creation.
Well, I think that's a very valid.
You have to listen as well to
something,
because you can have.
Well, it's a very valid point that to do meditation and do meditation.
Like that as well. Oh my God, not that old music again. Oh my God, let me run. I've got to do this, and then now I quite enjoy it, and automatically it seems like my whole day is a meditation.
You need to hold the mic,
and I look forward to it.
Hold them, yeah. Well, the thing about meditation is you're absolutely right. It's hard to do. Yeah, it's hard to do it. Yeah, so it's hard to do it on your own, but my number one tip is join the gathering.
During the week, you practice it on your own.
The
you
thing
have
is,
to be connected to. I used to be connected to an open circle in Acton, so every week I used to go there. But meanwhile,
you need
when
to
at
hold
home,
the mic
before sleeping, first thing in the morning,
closer.
In the afternoon, I practiced it, and then finally it clicked after about a year or two, and now it's clicked really good. But it's you have to really, really concentrate and have faith. Faith, I think, is the key.
The thing with meditation for me is that I sold my flat.
Wow.
Moved next door to the centre. I am there 7 days a week for the last 32 years. If I am in London, because I entirely agree with you, the power of the gathering is
really
huge.
Helps.
But when I'm on my own,
Yeah.
then I find it easier because I start the day with the power of the gathering. And Brahma Kumaris now are online all day long.
Oh, in Facebook.
We're all over. So we believe that everybody should know how to connect with their Father. Take that power.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, sorry.
Can meditation help heal any form of illness?
Can meditation do
Help heal any form of illness? Can meditation help heal any form of illness?
You know, The question was, can meditation heal illness? The answer is definitely. Definitely. Plenty. When the body is in a relaxed state, then it functions much better and healing is going to take place. But there are some people, obviously, who maybe have cancer, which is terminal, and are very seriously ill, and they are not going to be cured by meditation. But what meditation does is it creates a very powerful vibration of peace within the soul, and in everybody connected with that person, you know. So, for example, before I met Brahma Kumaris, my dad passed away. All I could think about was committing suicide. I think I can't live without my dad anymore, and I just don't want to live. But now, I mean, my mum, he was 50, 55. My mum passed away a couple of years ago. And when she passed away, I said to her, "Mum, you can leave." She was 92, I'll be fine. And on that day, I can honestly say I lived a life with her which was very joyful and did everything to make her life happy. So wished her good luck. And when she left and passed away, I gave her lots of love and peace. You know? All this hysteria around illness and dying drags a person down. But when we are positive, supportive, uplifting, helping the situation, it helps everybody. Thank you. Any more questions? So, thank you very much for joining us this evening. And I think actually we're just going to have one last meditation for just a couple of minutes, and then we can close. And I was expecting to sit here by myself and talk to the camera. So, so thank you very much. We've actually got an audience, which is very nice. And I've got a very, very lovely special program tomorrow evening. So we have one of our senior teachers, Sister Genti, I'm sure you all know her, and she will be joining a panel of very distinguished speakers, the Reverend John Sherrington, the Bishop of Westminster, the Rabbi Jeff Berger from Wembley, Imam Monawar Hussain from Oxford, Councillor Ketan Sheth from the Community and Wellbeing, and Philippa Blackman, who's a broadcast journalist, very distinguished speakers, and bringing a very interfaith gathering, looking at the vision of the future. There's going to be lovely music and panel discussions. So if you are free, then you're very warmly welcome to come and attend. And if I was free tomorrow evening, I would definitely come, because it's here. Brahma Kumaris are dedicated to making the world a more peaceful place and reaching out to everybody. So, any other questions? No? So, I think that's it then. Have a very safe journey home, and I know you're all dedicated practitioners of meditation. I've seen you all before, so thank you for joining us. Om Shanti. Bye-bye now. So I think I'll get a